Like Tolstoy.
You need a pipe, right?
Yeah, you're doing it.
Maybe do it. Could I have license
You
to
can
have
pull it off,
be a
man.
pipe smoker now?
Pull it off.
Just for the look.
The lecherous professor. You also have that vibe going too.
There you go.
I'm saying in a good way.
Those
In a good
leather
way.
patches
Yeah.
on your elbows.
More, you need some leather patches.
Yeah, let's meet after class.
Are you going to do the videos after, like the recaps after each episode like you did last year?
I don't know yet. That was done through my publisher, Thomas and Mercer, which is an arm of Amazon. So I don't know. It's if they want me to, I will.
Did you enjoy doing those?
I did.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I went in kind of not prepared and just blasted them all out in an hour, sort of vomited up, these recaps. So it's like, and it was so long after we'd finished the production, I was like, remembering what this episode was about.
So now that we know the secret of Wayward Pines, I have to wonder, Night, was part of the appeal of these books and this series sort of question, what if the village had been real and there were monsters outside?
Well, I love I love all stories that are contained but there's something giant going on outside, whether even it's like signs, it's like the end of the world, but from a family's perspective. This is that idea that Blake came up with, is exactly that vibe, I wish I had come up with it. I take credit for it as much as I can when Blake's not around. Blake's not real. I actually that's my pen name. But I do like the contained feelings of what human beings like. There's so much. I guess I'm not the big spectacle guy. Add more spaceships. Add more. It's more sound effects and keep it insinuated. And Blake's ideas are always insinuated. For so long, I guess the whole novel, you don't even know. The first novel, you didn't even know what's going on. And so it falls in line with that thinking. So we're always telling the writers, slow down, don't say yes. That's you're gonna reveal that. Not on the first. Wait. They're like, how long? I'm like, maybe 4 episodes. Like, what? How are we gonna wait 4 episodes? Slow it down.
Are there any new sets we visit this season?
Well, it is Wayward Pines. There's not a lot of land.
Not a big annex. Wayward Pines West.
But we are outside the fence a little bit, and so you are with it. This season we learn about the abbeys.
Yeah.
So that's the big.
Much more time outside the fence this season.
With all your projects, how much time do you actually get to spend with Wayward Pines?
You know what? That's a great question. I would say right now too much time. Agreed. We're always on the phone.
We can't
always
escape Wayward
talking.
Pines
We're
either.
always you can't get out of Wayward Pines. Literally, my hotel room is just Wayward Pines stuff, like piles. Like I'm on the plane ride, I'm like organizing what I'm going to read and watch for Wayward Pines. It's addictive. To kind of and the fun part, I guess, maybe you're the same way, but I very much need to have that buzz all the time, of creative buzz, and so there's the outline for 207's there, and then you can watch the dailies from 204, and you can call the actor about the 205 notes that he had, there's always, so it's fun, my wife would say it's terrible, crack addiction, but, and I'm sure the writers were like, Night's on the phone again. They're like, oh, geez, I should put a camera on that side, so when I'm calling from Philly and they're like, I'm giving all that, they're like, they're not like.
So when this was first planned, it was planned as an event series.
Yes.
And when I sat into the press room last year for this, it was people were unsure about whether
Yeah.
or not this would really make it. 'Cause
Yes.
it is a pretty weird show, but. So there was a point you must
Yes.
have had where you realized that this was popular and you were getting more episodes. And how did that affect how you approached to telling this story?
Well, it was a very serious thing, actually, what you're talking about. For me, I get really hyped about not taking advantage of opportunities to reduce the quality of storytelling, right? So, say they said, "Oh, we're going to guarantee you and Blake, you can have 10 seasons of this." That's a no.
Yeah.
That's a no, because we don't. We came together and we said, "Man, this was fantastic," and this premise is so, for me, I said to him, your premise is so powerful. I want to finish talking about what it means, the implications. We actually just got to do in the first season is just present the premise to you, and didn't actually get to talk about what that means to be the last town. What are the abbeys? All of the things that all the biblical stuff that I love. So we sat together and
we approached it, a little bit like Jurassic Park. Like, just there's a line where Jeff Goldblum is like, just because you can do something, should you do it? And that was like really the conversation that we had in Philly this summer, as we were realizing that people were very much responding to this. I think we both went in very skeptical that we would do a second season. Like, we wanted to just kind of sit for a few days and talk in the broadest of terms about why would we continue the story, and do we have something very important to say in a finite structure. And we walked out of those days feeling like, yes, we have something very big to say, bigger even than the first season, and that's why we're here.
Yeah, we went kind of thought of the end, and then said, how many episodes would it take to tell that story? So I think the beauty of where we are in television is now you can fit the format to the story now, right? And so you don't want it to suddenly, it had such a structure to it, like, the first season had such a structure, like where what was holding up the tent, the poles, and we wanted to have that same kind of, like, you can tell we're aiming towards something. We're not like, I don't know what the analogy is, finding more people on the island. We just, like, right. You're aiming towards a thing, like we're letting you in on it one episode at a time of where we're going, and
that's why it consumes our lives right now, because it's inventing the wheel every new episode. I'm so jealous of the procedural model, because that seems like, I know it's not easy, but it's like you kind of know what you're doing, where this is, it's hard in every single time. You want to make sure that you're leaving nothing on the field, and that you're, each episode is a revelation of what this idea is and where the characters are.
Well, we're super excited about Tales also. Is Tales from the Crypt going to be a new story each week, or would you consider the American Horror Story model? And have a Crypt Keeper?
I can't say 100%, but I'm thinking it's more right now where I am. If you had asked me this 6 months ago, I would have a different answer, but where I am right now, it's more individual, Black Mirror type kind of stuff right now. So
will there be a Crypt Keeper?
There will.
I wanted to ask then, since you wrote the original series, does this kind of give you an additional outlet that a lot of authors don't necessarily have to be able to continue working with your creation, but in a new medium that you're involved in?
It does, and it's really exciting and kind of fulfilling, because when I finished The Last Town, I was, and I still am 95% sure I'm not going to write another Wayward Pines book. That was like 5 years of my life doing that, and I'm doing new things now, and I feel like I've said everything in that medium that I want to say about this town, and I would rather leave people wanting more than, they're full of this meal and let's move on to the next thing. So yeah, it's amazing to get to explore it in a different medium.
Without any spoilers, how much of second season is going to be outside of the walls?
Not a whole lot. It's a very contained piece, but I think we could say, the second season is about the Abbeys. Learning exactly, it seems at the end of the first season like you have a kind of primitive understanding of what that is, what it is, what an Abbey is, but that's actually not what an Abbey is. So yeah.
Now that you guys know how invested people are in the story, and you've gotten the second season, are you going to leave the end of the second season? Or am you expecting the same thing in season one, where if it ends at the end of season two, it's going to be...
I think,
I think we have an idea for how the show would end, and it's a question of, are we fortunate enough to get to tell that story a little beyond season 2.
Yeah, I think we could say, probably, I don't know if we're even allowed to, but we'll just say it anyway.
Yeah, say
it's a 3-season story. If we get the opportunity to tell the third and final season, we'll finish the story. If we didn't, we don't. I guess we're all screwed.
So it has to end after 3?
Yeah,
we have
Absolutely.
There's
Not with us. If they went not with us, it won't be with us.
Yeah, it won't be. Yeah.
So this is a story you intend people to watch from the start, because I can't imagine how difficult it would be to just jump into the second season.
Yes.
It's difficult to jump into the first season. This is a complex show.
It is, and I think maybe I'm naive, but I do think like if the promotion starts this season 2 as it gets closer, they're going to run. By the way, did you know they're running the whole
on FX?
FX, yeah, they're marathoning the whole season over. That you go, oh yeah, I heard it was good. So to jump on it, it was enough time to be caught up. It's 10 episodes, it's not crazy amount to catch up with. So hopefully people will be able. I think that's the beauty of content right now, is they can catch up. I mean, look at Breaking Bad. It grew every season.
grew every
'cause you were
season,
catching,
yeah.
So hopefully.
It'd be I don't know someone just jumping in at the start of the second season, having not watched the first season, what that experience would be like.
Yeah. I mean, we did address it in the sense that Jason's character is kind of a neophyte, so
Right.
you wouldn't be lost,
Right.
but you wouldn't have the richness.
You do go into the story in season 2 through Jason Patrick's character, as I'm sure you guys have heard. So you go in just as fresh as a new audience member would. So I mean, I guess you could just. I guess we'll see when the cuts start coming in.
Pray that they will. Yeah, exactly right. He says with a nervous chuckle.
Like, how does it feel to see your town realized on the screen?
It's amazing. It's even crazier to go up and actually walk through the sets in Vancouver and see the first image I ever had in the books of Wayward Pines was the little snow globe on Sheriff Pope's desk, and it's in the books, and it's a whole thing of it because it's like that's the model of the town. It's a town in glass, and they had recreated that snow globe. And when I went up there, I was like, oh my god, it's so cool. And the neatest thing when they wrapped production on season 1, there was like, do you guys want anything? I was like, can I have the snow globe? That's all I want. And they sent it to me, so now the snow globe sits on my desk.